Hello everyone. So last session we have discussed how we can launch a browser and how we can load new web page in the browser window. We have discussed this code. But here, actually in Selenium, we need to write a test script. Here we write the code inside the main method. But what we need to do? We need to write a test case. How we can write a test case? So to write a test case, here I'm going to use one unit testing framework like TestNG. So I'm going to use here TestNG. What the TestNG? TestNG is nothing. TestNG is a unit testing framework. So using TestNG, we can write yes, no test cases. So TestNG provides full control over the test cases and execution of the test cases. So due to this reason, TestNG is also known as testing framework. So TestNG is nothing, is a testing framework that helps to write a test case like JUnit. Yes, no? You have heard about the JUnit. JUnit is a unit testing framework. You can write a test cases using the JUnit. And similar, we have TestNG. So TestNG is also testing framework. TestNG come after JUnit. And TestNG framework add more powerful functionality and easier to use. So TestNG come after JUnit. So TestNG framework add more powerful functionality and easier to use. So we can say it's the open source. It is an open source automated TestNG framework. TestNG NG stand for next generation. So that's why here I'm going to use TestNG for testing framework. Okay, so how we can use the TestNG? We will discuss more about TestNG. Let's first understand how we can use TestNG and how we can write a test case using TestNG. So if you want to work with a TestNG, so here I'm working with Maven-based project. We need to add TestNG dependency. First of all, you need to add dependencies. Which dependency? TestNG dependency. So how we can add? Go to your pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file, last time we have added two dependencies. One is a Selenium Java and one more is a WebDriver manager. Now we need to add TestNG dependency. So we need to go to browser, and here you can go to the browser. In the browser, you can search Maven repository. I'm searching TestNG Maven TestNG Maven dependency. You can check here. Once you search TestNG Maven dependency, you can click here and now you can check here. You can select any one of the version. So suppose I'm selecting 7.10. You can check here 7.10, 751 people uses. So I'm selecting 7.1 and you can check here 7.71. Okay, I'm selecting that one. You select any one of the version. So I'm selecting 7.71. You can check here. This is the dependency. You can copy this dependency and go to your pom.xml file and paste under dependencies section. So I had a TestNG dependency. How we can work with TestNG? So if you want to work with TestNG, so first of all, you need to add TestNG dependency in your project. So in pom.xml file, we need to add TestNG dependency, and then you need to save. TestNG is nothing, is a testing framework by which we can write a test cases. So in Maven-based project, last time we have discussed folder structure. We have src main Java. whatever source file we have required to create related Java, we need to place under src main Java. And we have one more folder here, src test resource Javas. src test Java, you can check here. src test Java, you can check this folder. Under this folder, whatever test classes you have required to place, you can place under src test Java. You can expand this folder right now. There is nothing inside this folder. I want to place our test classes under this package. So under this package, I want to create a test classes. So I will create one package first of all. Let's create one package. I will create one package with name testing package. I create one testing package. All the test classes that are required to create, we are placing under src test Java. We have one package with name testing. Under that package, we are going to place. Let's here, I'm going to create first test class. How we can create a test class? So select that package under which you want to create. So I want to create test class under testing package, right click and then go to the new option. From here, you can select a class. And I give the class name like test demo. Right now, I give the class name like just test demo. And then just click on a finish button. Just click on a finish button. So you can check here. Here we define one class with name test demo. So once you define a class, this is a normal Java class. Suppose I define one class with name test demo. And under this test class, I want to define a test cases. How we can define test cases? Let's now we define one method, public void test case. Test case 1, suppose. I give the method name like test case 1. You can give any name, method name. So this is a normal Java method. But I want to make this method as a test case method. How we can mark this method as a test case? Test method. To mark this method as a test method, TestNG will provide one annotation, test annotation. So @test annotation. Once you annotated given method by using @test annotation, that used to denote the given method is a test method. Given method is a test method. Okay, the given method is a test method. So this annotation will be provided by the TestNG. We are using TestNG testing framework to write the test cases. So within a test class, I have defined one test case. You can define a number of test case based on your requirement. Let's now we create first test case method. How we can define test case method? So I'm define one public void. And one more thing you need to remember, when you define test case method should be public and test case method should be non-return type. When you define test case method, your test case method should be public and your test case method should be non-return type. And now you can give a test name, method name. You can give any name, just like I given test method 1. And now open curly braces, close curly braces. To mark this method as a test case, so we need to annotate this method by using following annotation, @test annotation. You can check here, this annotation available under org.testng.annotation. Actually, this annotation will provide by the TestNG framework. So this annotation, what is the use of this annotation? This annotation used to mark a method as a part of the test. So this annotation used to mark a method as a test case method. And then once you save it, you can check here. Now here you can write your test case, whatever test case you want to write. So let's right now I'm simple writing just like system.out.println. I'm writing one statement just like hello test. Yes, no, hello test. Just writing hello test. So I define one test class. Yes, no. Inside this test class we have one test method. Right now I'm not writing anything, just writing one simple statement. Now I want to run this test case. How we can run this test case? I want to execute this test case. How we can run this test case? Now we need to understand how we can run this test case. Okay, if you want to run this test case, so let's now select this test class. If you right click here and check here, you have option run as. Now here Maven will provide here, you can check a Maven test. Yes, no, using Maven test you can run. Otherwise we required one platform. TestNG will provide one platform. Using that TestNG platform, you can run that test case on TestNG platform. But here you're not able to see that platform. So for that, what you need to do? In your Eclipse ID, you need to add the TestNG. You need to configure the TestNG. How we can configure TestNG? If you want to configure TestNG, so how we can configure in your Eclipse ID? So to configure TestNG, you need to go understand. You need to go window options. And here we have, welcome help option. Which option? Help option. Let's understand what point here you need to understand. Once you define test case, now you want to run this test case. To run this test case, you require TestNG platform. But if you select this file, right click and you have run as, here you are not able to see TestNG platform. So it means TestNG is not configured in your Eclipse ID. You need to configure the TestNG in your Eclipse ID. How we can configure? For that, you need to go to the help option. And here you can go Eclipse Marketplace. Go to the Eclipse Marketplace. Once you go to the Eclipse Marketplace, now it will open Eclipse Marketplace window. Just you need to wait a little bit. Yeah. And now here you can search TestNG. What you can search in the search bar? TestNG you can search and just press enter. So you can check here, this is a plugin. Yes, no, you need to add this plugin. This plugin lets you to run your TestNG test from Eclipse. So if you want to run test, yes, no, from the Eclipse, TestNG test from the Eclipse, then you need to add TestNG plugin in your Eclipse ID. So this plugin lets you run your TestNG test from the Eclipse. So just here you have install button and you need to click on install for installing the TestNG plugin in your Eclipse ID. Now you can check here. It will installing the TestNG plugin in your Eclipse ID. And now you can check here. It will ask for confirm. You can click on confirm. And now you need to accept it. It will ask for accept. You can accept and then you can click on finish button. Okay, now you can check it after installing the plugin. It will ask for restarting your Eclipse ID. You can restart the Eclipse ID. Once you restart, now you can check here, guys. If you select your file and right click on your file and click on run as, and here you can check here, you will get an option TestNG test. Now you're able to run your test cases from Eclipse ID. So if you just select that TestNG test, now you can check it. It will launch one platform and it will show your test case status. So you can check here. Here you can check the result of your test case. Yes, sir, you can check here. How many test cases you have written? Only one test case you have written. One. And that test case is pass. It's showing your green color is showing your test case is pass. So this is a way to use the TestNG. Let's understand what is a TestNG and how you can use TestNG. Yes, no? Let's we understand all the steps also. Once again, let's we understand that steps. So what is a TestNG? TestNG. TestNG is nothing, is a testing framework. TestNG is nothing, is a testing framework. So TestNG, TestNG is a testing framework, we can say testing framework that is inspired from JUnit. JUnit is also unit testing framework. Using JUnit, you can write a test cases also, but TestNG comes after JUnit and it adds more functionality. It adds more functionalities. So that's why we are using TestNG. It makes easier to use test case. So if you want to use TestNG in your Eclipse ID, in your Maven-based project, first step, you need to add the dependency, TestNG dependency in your pom.xml file. First, add the dependency in your pom.xml file. Then second step, you need to add TestNG plugin in your Eclipse ID. If you want to run TestNG test cases from your Eclipse ID, then you need to add TestNG plugins in your Eclipse ID. How we can add? Nothing you need to do. Just go to the help option. And here you have option Eclipse Marketplace. You can click on Eclipse Marketplace and Eclipse Marketplace, and here you can type just TestNG. In the search bar, yes, no, you can type TestNG and you can select TestNG plugins and just you can click on install button. Once you click on install button, then you are able to install TestNG plugins in your Eclipse ID. Okay, now once you add the TestNG plugins in your Eclipse ID, then you need to restart. Now you can check here. Once again we define the test case. Now you can remove all this. Okay, you can check here. Once you define test case, public void. Suppose I define one test method. Suppose test method. This is a test method. And now if you want to mark this method as a test method, then TestNG will provide annotation. TestNG will provide several annotation. We will discuss all annotations, whatever we are using. Right now, we are using test annotation. We understand the test annotation. If any method that you want to mark as a test case method, then that method you have need to annotate at the rate test annotation. So which annotation you need to use? Test annotation. You can check here. Once you add this annotation, automatic here you can check here. Here you option run option. You can run your test case from here also directly. Right now I'm not writing any statement. If you want to click on run, you can check here. Your test case is this particular test case. If you want to run, yes, no. you can run directly by clicking here in run option. You can check your test case is run. You have written one test case, and now your test case is passed. How many test cases pass? One. How many is failed? 0. You can define any number of test cases in this way. So last time we have created one Java class, you have seen, yes, no? Under that Java class, we are writing the logic to launching a browser. To launching a browser and loading a web page into the browser. Now, what we need to do? We need to define our test case. And that test case we need to use to load a browser and launching a web page. So what you need to do? The entire code we can copy from here. We have discussed last time. And now let's place here and go to the launch browser demo. We copy this code. Just check here first. And place here under test case, test method. Now this method is an exception. You need to add throws. So you can check here. Now you have defined one test case. This test case used to launch a browser and load a web page in a browser. So if you want to run a test case, this test case, just you click on run option. You can check here. Your test case is executed. Now you need to wait just, you can check here. Browser is launching. Now you can check here. Microsoft Edge WebDriver was successfully started, and now you can check browser is launched and one web page is loaded, and now browser is closed. So you can check how many test cases you written. 1. And how many test cases pass? 1 test case is passed, and number of failed test cases 0. So here we have discussed how we can create test cases, test method, and how we can run. In next session, yes or no, we will discuss how we need to write a test case and what mechanism that we need to follow while we writing the test cases. Okay.